Through dropshipping, I'm gonna attempt to speedrun my way to $1,000 in profit, and the timer starts now. So hear me out on this. We've all seen people speedrun video games before, and a lot of time for me, I like to look at making money also as a video game, rather than beating level 1 that could be getting your first sale or first $100. But with business, the levels are infinite and you get to keep the money you make. It's basically GTA in real life, so all we have to do is find our version of the money glitch to do this. If this is me and I'm here sitting at $0, we have a long way to go to reach the final boss of $1,000 in profit, but this big goal seems simple when I break it up into smaller, more achievable levels. And as I said, to do this, my business of choice is dropshipping, because of how simple it is when you have a good product to sell and know how to sell it, which I already do, and that's what I'm about to show you. So level 1 when it comes to dropshipping is finding a winning product, which I already accomplished. Level 2 is getting your first sale. 3, first $100. Level 4, consistent profit. And for this game, the final boss is that $1,000 in profit. This whole idea sprung upon me late last night when I was reflecting on a past challenge I did, taking a product from $0 to $1,000 in a week, because this product is so proven, and what slowed me down last time was trying to find the right ways to advertise it. So now that I know these things, I should be able to do it in a fraction of the time, right? Well, let's find out. So the product I'm selling is this folding duffel bag right here. And here's a little more backstory so you can see why I'm so confident in it. For the week-long $1,000 challenge, I was selling it through TikTok Shop as an affiliate, which did some pretty crazy numbers. 8.8 million, 970K, 400K, 400K, 300K, and many more, which led me to profit well over $10,000 in commission. So my plan for this speed run is to compile all the viral videos I posted before into new dropshipping paid ads. Basically changing them from saying go grab it on the TikTok shop to click shop now and get your own on my website. This puts me at an advantage because I know those videos and the product itself sells well, and all I gotta do is edit them to say the right things and lead the viewers to my website. All right, let's see where this timer's at. It's been an hour and 55 minutes so far, and all 6 of the ad creatives I was making are ready to go and ready to be set up in TikTok ads. But let me pull up an example so you can understand the advertising angle I use for this bag. So I bought this bag off TikTok after I saw countless videos of people saying that big airline companies are trying to get rid of it, so let me show you why. And the whole rumor around this is that it's saving people like me and you an insane amount of money never having to check a bag because of this right here, as the bag all folds up and your clothes go in the bottom. And then as you can see right now, I'm fitting a large suitcase amount of stuff into this one carry-on duffel bag, meaning I'm not gonna have to spend $100 on this next flight. It was a no-brainer for me because that meant all I had to do was take one flight and I would make my money back on it. And yes, as you can see, it does work as a carry-on. And if you want to get your own, the 25% off sale ends tonight, so click shop now. Shows the bag, shows how it works, shows why they need it, and shows where to get it, which is the perfect format for a TikTok ad. But you get the point, and I'm on the clock, so it's back to conquering our first objective, which is getting that first sale. And the only 2 things I still have to do for that is build my website and get the TikTok ad set up to start spending at midnight. But the website is actually already done, as you can see here, and I actually filmed a full tutorial for you guys on how I built this exact website. But more on that and where to find it in a second, because I'm on the clock and I got to get these TikTok ads set up so they get approved by midnight. All right, as you can see, I have 6 CBO campaigns set up right here, each with a $100 budget, and they each contain 5 ad groups with the videos I made earlier. Each campaign gets its own videos, so since I made 6, we have 6 campaigns. And I usually do start at a lower scale for new products and new ad creatives, but this is a speed run and we don't have time to waste. So again, as you can see, they all say outside of schedule, meaning they're all going to start spending at midnight. So for the next 4 hours, I just have to wait while the clock is still running, which is a bummer, but having them start at midnight is going to help with performance. Little nervous to see what I wake up to with over $600 in budget ready to spend, but I'm also very confident in the product and the ads we made. And because I skipped over it earlier, if you do want to see how I set up this website and things like the ads, well, I just released my brand new completely free dropshipping course that I've been working on for months every single day behind the scenes. And in total, it's around 8 hours of content. An hour website build, hours on organic advertising, paid ad strategies, literally everything I know about dropshipping put into one free course. I'm so hyped to finally be able to say this, and you can check it out anytime at studydropshipping.com, but I'll be seeing you guys in the morning with either good or bad news. All right, it's 6 in the morning and I got up a little bit earlier than usual so that I can make adjustments on the ads to help them perform better earlier in the day. And I haven't even unlocked my phone, but as you can see, there's an order from 2 hours ago and 1 hour ago. Definitely good news so far, and that brings us up to level 2 already with 12 hours on the clock. Maybe it's a sign, but that ad creative I showed and played for you yesterday is the one that's actually performing the best. The rest are giving me some worries, but I think and I hope as the day goes on and they start to spend more, they'll start to optimize optimize and perform better. So I'm about to make some tweaks, keeping some ad groups on and turning others off, which I'll explain more in a few hours once I can think straighter, I'm more awake, and hopefully we have more results. Alright, things are definitely starting to move in the right direction. 8 a.m. now, and we've already reached level 3. $328 in sales, as you can see, which is around $105 in profit. But to go from the first $100 to consistent profit can get tricky because I have to start ramping it up a bit. So if I come into TikTok Ads Manager, you can see Creative 4, the one I showed yesterday, has brought in 3 of those orders. Good CPC, good CPA, so what I'll do is double its budget to $200 for now. And what we hope to see is even at this higher scale, these metrics will stay the same and it will continue to bring in orders at this low cost. Creative 6, as you can see, also brought an order, but it hasn't given me the confidence yet to bump its budget. So I'll give it more time at $100. And for the other 4, since I don't want to give up on them yet, what I'll do is actually lower them to $50 to just see if they will bring any orders. I don't know if it's just me, but this feels so much like a video game. I'm just clicking buttons on here to make my money go up on Shopify. Timer isn't looking too bad, and hopefully these adjustments will help speed up the process. It's an hour later and I didn't film any sales because I don't have any since then. Not nervous, but this timer constantly running does not help. But there still is a ton of people coming to my website, and typically sales do go up and down throughout the day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alright, you can see this total going up now, and from those sales, it's around $255 in profit from the math I did in my head, and it's mainly because of Creative 6, which is the one I showed earlier that I kept at a $100 budget and it had 1 order. Well, now it's really starting to shine, which is honestly hyping me up because when I was creating these ads, it was the one I had the most confidence in. And before I remade it into a dropshipping ad, it had 300,000 views on TikTok and was a TikTok shop video. I posted it on February 12th, and just in the month of June alone, it has got 26,000 more views and has sold 29 bags from those views, which is an insane conversion rate, and for me, it's completely passive too. You typically don't even see organic videos get a $50 sale for 10,000 views, but this one is getting it for less than 1,000. So what I'm saying is I knew it sold well, and I had a really good feeling about it when I was re-editing all these creatives. So I'm gonna double this one's budget as well, and if it continues to do good, I'll show it and explain why I think it performs so well. I think at this point, it's safe to advance myself into level 4 because we have $848 in sales, which leaves me around $320 in profit, which has been coming in consistently. The sales are creeping up to that $1,000 in profit, but revenue doesn't really matter. And for profit, we're about 30% of the way there to beating the final boss. And in video games, there are always levels or certain missions that are boring, but more commonly confusing, which for me, when I was starting the dropshipping video game, was finding a good supplier, figuring out how to connect the customer's information to the product so it goes directly to them, and of course how to not get scammed sending money to a random manufacturer in China and hoping they send your product to your customer. But in today's day and age, this is one of the easiest parts thanks to AutoDS. What they do is directly connect the product you have picked to your Shopify store. So if you get an order on your store, it shows up in AutoDS and you can have it automatically sent out or do it manually in just a few clicks. They're known for being a supplier, but recently I've been utilizing their ad spy tool to where I can simply just type duffel and see exactly what ads my competitors are using and if they're working or not. As I'm currently editing this, I'm also sending out all the orders to the customers using AutoDS, which is usually the most asked question in the comments. So I'll have a link below if you want to sign up and start a free trial, and also in the free course, I go in depth on how to set it up. So the question now is if I can accomplish this today and how fast, because to get to this point, it has taken almost 18 hours. And if I don't do it today, then I'm gonna have to set up new ads, wait till midnight for them to start spending, which adds a bunch of time, especially when I'm sleeping. But that's not an option in my head. We are doing it today, and I'll stay up as late as I have to. So let's up the ad spend on the 2 winning creatives and keep it rolling. Okay, 1, that creative number 6 is doing really well, and 2, I realized I never showed it to you guys. And here's the clock, here's the sales so far, and here's the video.
Come with me to test out the viral duffel bag on TikTok that apparently holds more clothes than a large suitcase. So I got about 5 outfits here, and what's crazy is there's still room for more even after I fold it up. And the reason it can hold so much is because where you would usually put your clothes is where you can hold everything else.
Now, aside from the amount it holds, the amount of money it saves you is even crazier. Because of its size, you won't have to spend $50 to $100 checking a bag every time you travel, while you can still hold the same amount and buy this one time for $65. Yes, I have tested it, and yes, it works as a carry-on and gets through TSA, so if you want one, the 25% off sale ends tonight, so click shop now to get your own. So my thought process with this product and the ad creation was to first entertain and explain. So as you saw in the first half, I was talking about how it works, where your clothes go, and how it folds up. But in the second half, it was sell, sell, sell. Because if the viewer had already made it to this point, they were obviously interested. So I introduced the issue of spending $50 to $100 every time you travel checking a bag, and then brought in the bag to perfectly solve it because it only costs $60. So if they use it once, they'll make their money back on it. An offer most can't say no to, especially those who are already interested based on how cool it is. $574 in profit, which I am hyped on, but starting to get a little nervous because sometimes around this time of day, ads will start to die out. Here's me thinking about what I wanted to say next for about a minute, and then definitely calm down those nerves a bit, and you can see I was pretty pumped up. I was just trying to think of what else I wanted to tell you guys, but hey, there's an order, so I guess let's just keep it rolling. It's been 5 hours and there's good and bad news. The good news is that the sales have almost doubled since the last check-in, and the profit is right on the edge at $875.64. But all the ads are fully turned off, which means yes, I'm not gonna get it today. The reason I had to turn them off is because although the sales kept going like this, the profit started slowly going down to where the last $100 I spent brought in no orders. So even though I didn't want to, I knew it was a smarter move to just turn them off and not let that start eating into our profit, even though the sales would have kept going up. So how long's it been now? 26 hours on the clock. Wow. I feel a little weird being bummed out about $875 in profit because any other challenge or day I would be stoked. But as you saw earlier, I was so dead set on this goal and maybe a little too confident. You also probably remember when I said I'll stay up as late as I have to. Well, that's exactly what I'm doing. We just need a few more orders to do this, so if I can start optimizing the ads right when they start spending at midnight, it should be quicker than me sleeping till 6 a.m. and checking in the morning. So see you at midnight. So the first order came in at $12.25, leaving me around $75 away from the final boss. Then two at $12.45 and a double order at $1.25 to finally close it out. And yes, it's the next day right now because I could barely keep my eyes open, let alone film the final sales recap. But whoever you are that bought two at 1:30 in the morning, I appreciate you letting me go to sleep at that time. Now, before I show the sales, profit, and final time, it's important for me to mention that I was only running the creatives that performed good the day before. Creative 4 and 6. So they were getting all the budget, and since I had the proof from the day before that they sold well, it was truly just a waiting game until midnight. And I had them each at a $400 daily budget so they would spend faster. Yesterday I was awake for over 20 hours, so I hope you got some entertainment and learned something watching that. But the sales yesterday came out to $2,278.64 and $324 today. After calculating it, this brought the total profit to $1,037.57. And the final time for this speedrun was 31 hours, 14 minutes, and 53 seconds, which I ended when that final sale came in. And now that I've tried it once, I'm already thinking of how I can improve, which I know I can. Mainly by cutting out the 8 hours of sleep in the middle, but let me know in the comments if you want to see me try again. And any other dropshipping YouTubers, I'd love to turn this into a challenge where we all compete against each other. Again, if you want to learn in depth how I run and scale these ads and every other part of dropshipping for free, just head to studydropshipping.com, which will be the first link below. But the final boss has been beaten, and I appreciate your time spent here watching today.